Alright, we're gonna go live on the air. Let's run through the cameras and see. It's the end of the day. Oh, there I am. Take down the green screen. We do have the repair up. Repair only. The KVM cam did not wig out. Alright, let's go to the repair. Well, I suppose we'll start this from the beginning. Alright, we're back to having power. That's what happens when you don't turn your transmitter for your mic off. Let's go ahead and try and get this back into the mount quick. There we go. Okay. I feel alright about that. So, here's the setup. Yeah, I guess we'll go a little wider. We've got an HP Stream notebook, an exact model number on this thing for reference for people, and I did no research on this to see if there's issues, if it works. We're just going to try a base Arch Linux install on it and maybe get to a graphical user environment depending on what my old brain remembers. So this is an HP okay, let's go ahead and pull this up for some people out there. We got an HP 11D010WM. Okay, this is the notebook here. It's little, you know, they didn't cost much new. I think they were, wow, somebody's asking $680? I hope not for that thing. So you can reset them to the factory settings of Windows 8. How to disassemble, they're fairly simple to disassemble. But that's the laptop in question that we're dealing with. Celeron N2840. Coincidentally, that is the same processor that is in this laptop that died, that we're going to get a motherboard and upgrade it for the person, which we may not even be doing that. Yeah, she may decide to go a different way. She has to talk to family, dad, somebody, I don't know, I don't remember the details. However, the object at hand, and I'm not sure what wireless card is in this thing by default. Okay, so that be my reason for. We have our power adapter, we've got our install media, and we've got a USB 3 and also Ethernet adapter. We're going to go hardwired because I don't know what wireless chip is in this. And then we have our HDMI out for the repair, and hopefully, yeah, it won't pick this up. So we're going to go ahead and boot and see if we can get it to pick up this screen. It may pick up the following screen, it may not. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and hit boot, and at some point it should be able to grab. I don't know that it did this the first time I booted it. Okay. There we go. It finally grabbed the display. Alright. Yeah. There, we'll go there for a moment. So if we can get Arch, or, you know, a really stripped down light version of Linux running on this, I think it will make a killer out in the field notebook, out on a road call. Anyhow, let's go back to our repair. We will do it like this. We are going to do that. Now, the first thing that you can do when you get booted up to your root at archiso tilde # or root, I guess that means root, the little hashtag symbol there. So the first thing you could do is you could do a ping /c 3 and a website, you know. We'll do arch linux back. Okay, indeed we did. We sent and received, so we have internet connectivity. After that, let's do an IF link to see. Is it IF link or IP link? IP link. I always confuse because there's a lot of stuff. Watch me have to reboot. Yeah. IP link. There's an IP config if you're talking Windows. Yeah, Control X. Alright, we're going to power down and do this all over again. There I go, confusing stuff right away. Alright, let's power it up. F9. We're going to get booted into our media. Alright, change boot device order. We want our USB hard drive. We are getting screens here, and this is basically just our Yumi screen. Yumi is a tool that I use to create install media for like Linux distributions and recovery tools, boot disks, anything where you need to burn an ISO file, ISO, to a USB drive. Basically, I use Yumi. There's Rufus, there's Pendrive Linux. There's so many utilities that you can use to achieve the same thing, and that is getting your disk image for your install media, your system utility, your recovery tools, getting it onto a USB disk without using DD, because a lot of people are not familiar with DD. That's a Linux thing for copying a disk image from one spot to another and then making it bootable. Yeah, we didn't go that route. I just went real simple with Yumi. Yumi and Rufus are probably your two best bets, the easiest solutions that you will get. Okay, so there's our repair. Our repair is back up. If I don't mistype this time and lock myself out. Okay, so let's do ping /c 3 arch linux.org. See if we get results. Indeed, we are pinging archlinux.org. 3 packets transmitted, 3 received, 0% packet loss, 5 milliseconds, and however many round trip. Now we're going to do an IP space link, not IF, IP space link, and see. Okay, we do have a Wi-Fi connection. Now, if you have Wi-Fi, that's fine. You can go ahead and set that up. However, I like ENP up. Okay, so the interface 1 is the loopback for the system, 2 is our Ethernet port that we're running, and 3 would be a wireless LAN inside the computer. So it is being recognized default by just the base Arch Linux install. The kernel has supported drivers. I don't know if they're called drivers, modules. It's there. It has support for the Wi-Fi, but we're going to go ahead and run. We're going to go ahead and run hardwired. It is just faster. We're not working with a huge amount of time. So, not a huge amount of time. Let's get back to the repair. Let's do an fdisk. Nope, too many D's. Fdisk space -L is going to list our hard drives. We need to see. Okay, so dev, and they have these huge numbers. This is where it's going to get goofy. Okay, dev SDA1 is our. Normally that's where we'd be installing it. /dev/SDA1, but that is indeed our install media. So we need to format the dev/mmcblk op. So let's do okay, so we need to create three partitions. What is our size of the three? We have a 500 megabyte DFI system partition, the 28.5 gig Microsoft Basic Data System, so the Windows System partition, and then a 16 meg Microsoft Reserve. Let's go ahead and do cfdisk and see. Can we just load cfdisk? We can. Okay. And I don't know that cfdisk is going to see. Indeed, it is not. So this may be coming to a screeching halt as is. Do I need a special installer to see? And it don't help that I'm running. How do we exit? Let's just quit. Okay. cfdisk /dev, or yeah, fdisk, sorry, fdisk space -L. Okay, we're going to do cfdisk space /. I'm going to try this. If we break it, we break it. mmcblk. I don't know that this is going to work. And we need a /dev in front of that. /dev/mmcblk. So let's see if this is going to work. Cannot run. cfdisk cannot open on that. No such file or directory. Okay, so that was failed. Because of, and here, this is my little, this is what I was expecting to see. To show you, I should have a way. This is the command I was trying to do here. We should have got something like this, but we're not going to, due to the fact that it's set up EFI. I think we need an EFI installer for this, and I don't have time to make one of those today, so I will make one of those another day. So, failed mission for today. I was kind of curious, could we take a legacy MBR non-UEFI Linux install and install it on something that came with Windows 8, so it was set up UEFI. Before we do this though, let's go ahead and hit reboot now into the terminal. We're going to go ahead and hit F10 for BIOS setup and see if we can turn off. Kind of like when you disable secure boot and you disable, what is it called? Let's go and look. Can you guys see this? Can you see my screen? No, you cannot. Alright, so we are in the BIOS. We're going to see if we can disable, making this thing. And I think we might be able to. Okay. Legacy support is enabled. Secure boot is disabled. That is how. And that's how we booted in the first place. But is there anything else? Booting the media is one thing. Okay, legacy support disabled. Secure boot. We'll disable secure boot. And then re-enable. Legacy, yes. Okay, it disables it by default anyhow. I believe we need to make a UEFI Linux installer to be able to install to the /dev/mmcblk. Alright, so failed mission there. We're gonna go ahead, we gotta go over here and get a data backup that we need to transfer to a computer. We'll do that with the rest of our time today. Copy and paste. Okay, we've got about 1.6, 1.7 gigabytes worth of data. So basically Linux not getting installed on our HP stream today. It is indeed, actually, maybe we can show you this. I'm not going to show you. Okay. It is booting it back into Windows. Oh well. That is something I will try. The UEFI thing is outside of Windows and Mac, not something I've ever messed with in Linux. I've always done MBR, or what's known as CSM, for newer laptops instead of using the UEFI, which is Universal Extensible Firmware Interface. Yeah. No. So we do have a base setup. I can't believe it won't pull. It won't pull that feed. Shut up, Cortana. Let's dig in. And as you can, I don't know if you can see that, it's stuttering a little bit. That and the trackpad not working outside of Windows 8 or 8.1 is kind of, This thing was at end of its life. Screen was broken, the motherboard was broken, both have been replaced. But is it going to be worth doing anything? It's an old HP stream. I think it has 2 gigs of RAM. So not even, I mean, allegedly 1 or 2 gigs is the bare minimum for Windows 10. But if you can get, if we can get a good version of Linux on it, I think it could really be something. So this will be continued tomorrow. Definitely not today. we'll have some fun and go and set up this Windows install just for the ha-has. So yeah, super fail. Yes, that is the right keyboard layout. We'll skip there, and as you can see, we are 100% in Windows 10. We're not on a screen where we get a cursor, but let's connect you to a network. We have no cursor at all. So, failed. That's just lack of planning. I should have had a UEFI one on hand. I did not, so. Yeah, and this is what I mean right here. We got a tab around because we have no way to mouse around. So we had to use tab to navigate the operating system, unless we plug in an external out onto with a road call out in the field to go set up Wi-Fi somewhere. It's small, it's light. It would be handy for that. Not real powerful, but you know, setting up a Wi-Fi or a router, setting up a network for somebody, going and doing some testing on site, or if you need to have some of your tools with you and you don't want to run your tools on their computers out on a call, you would have something to take along with you. Something little, something light, even though it's crazy blue and we got a two-tone top. Definitely not my style, but here we go, tabbing around again. Alright, we found the next button. Alright, that being said, I am going to clean up and just finish this Windows setup. Doesn't make a bit of difference. We are going to get a UEFI Arch Linux installer made, and hopefully tomorrow come back and win. Fight the good fight. Take this thing down. Get that partition formatted. Get Arch Linux installed. Get booted up to some type of desktop environment. A very basic and stripped down one, because we're only installing the bare tools that we need for this thing to run. So anybody that's ever ran Linux, it's you know what I'm talking about. It's not going to be a whole lot when we do get it running with Arch. Alright, till then, moving on, we're doing our data transfer. I need to get some tools on this. Is it gonna work just like that easy? That would be super cool if it did. I didn't think. Let's try again. Ah! Well, I guess if you don't pull a nick and hope that it's going to work without plugging it in all the way. So failed install. Here, just to show you, we are back up at, sign in with Microsoft. We're going to go ahead and not do that. We're powering down. We came to do a job, or attempt to do a job today. A curiosity, for curiosity's sake. And we did not have the correct tools. Now, could I still do it with this? I don't know. I'm knowledgeable, but not that knowledgeable. I don't know of any way to run any type of partition or formatting tool that's on, MBR based on something that is UEFI based. So, yeah. Fail for today. We will try again, possibly tomorrow. Fridays can get hectic with fires and stuff going crazy. Right now we need some tools, if we have any. It's crazy. Anytime something happens to a computer, and it gets redone, your stuff is moved to a new location. Yeah, no fun, no fun, no fun. Alright, let's bring this to the bench. We still got a few minutes here today, so what do we accomplish with the rest of the day? However, I don't know, can we get to the HDMI port? If we have an HDMI dongle, we're going to use that to extend it out a little. I believe we do somewhere. Home. There we go. That nets us a little bit more room and a little bit of bend. The current struggle in question. Do you see that display flickering? Frame rate of the Hero and the refresh rate of the monitor. Okay, now we can get it a little more, set up a little more square. Our tools and utilities are still transferring on the stream computer over to the drive with the data that does need restored. Have you stand back just a little bit. Don't want to bump into anybody. Wow, if that's true, I got a new dock today. Where is this thing? Okay, so coincidentally, my old dock or hub was this unit. Just your basic USB 3-port USB hub with an Ethernet port on the end. And this thing was great. I don't know who makes it, but USB 3.0 transfer speeds kept up. Now I switched over to a Kingwin, so it's allegedly a super speed all-in-one USB 3.0 card reader plus hub combo. So I can do compact flash cards, M2 Sony memory cards, MS Pro Duo, micro SD, SD, SDXC, SDHC, and there's one other one, I can never remember the name of it. SDMMC, TF, CF, all those. Plus it has 3 USB ports. Transfer speeds are not near as close as this one today, so maybe it needs to break in. You gotta let it break in to get the data transferring down the pipe. All right, we do have a readout. So let's go back here. We gotta password it. Did I type it wrong? Alright, and here we go. We are up on the Lenovo. About 5 seconds and I have my data. Allegedly. One thing I've noticed over the years is computer time, whether it be installing OS 10 or Linux or Windows, or if you transfer in data and they say a minute remaining, that minute is always minutes or unless the only time I've seen is Windows and a few other operating systems where time is a real thing and accurate. OS will reboot in 10 seconds or whatever. That's about the only one. Other than that, when you're transferring data, no, time is not accurate whatsoever. Alright, there we go. Come here, we got a new flash drive today. Here, let me throw you guys up here. Actually kind of neat. I may get one for myself. It is a Samsung bar. I don't know, I haven't tested it yet. I don't know what read and write speeds will be over time. Obviously, the longer you have something, the slower it's going to get. Will eventually die. But just the case on this, the shell, pretty neat. It's got this spot where you can put like a legit key ring through and have it on your keys and have it with you. It reminds me of something that is going to be much more robust than that piece of plastic with a key ring through it. And this is an all metal case, all metal construction. So yeah, failed with the Linux. Let's do some data transfer. And once again, like I said, something I'm not real familiar with on Linux is the whole UEFI thing. Yeah, not Windows, yes. Mac, yes. Linux, no, never once in my life have I. Alright, this is, let's go out. What we're going to do now is take and restore some data. Let's look through here and see. This is an older version of this program. We have a newer one. Drive connects. Screensaver. Does anybody still use screensavers, or do you just let your computer go to sleep? That's one thing I've always wondered. Leave a comment. Do you use screensavers still? Because cell phones, you just kind of sleep your device that goes in your pocket. It's not really a thing, you know? So, screensaver. I mean, I guess some phones, depending on the brand, daydream. If they're laying there, you know, with the screen up, they'll daydream and colors go on them, or a clock will float around. But when it goes in your pocket, it's just going to sleep. So, from the rise in popularity of smartphones, have people moved over to sleeping their desktops and laptops, or do you just let it sit there and run blindly, just generating heat and collecting dust? Boy, there's no way that ripped through that quick. Alright, so excuse me, I'm going to go in and check this out. Let's exit that. I need to see what they do have. QuickBooks, so QuickBooks Pro 2016. That is not going to work. I don't think that's an installer. I think that's a broken application launcher. I need to go in and see if and this is one thing. Okay, into QuickBooks Desktop Pro. So they do have an install file in Documents now. within documents. We're in there. This PC, let's go see if there is a company file in the public folder. And indeed, we do have a company file, a QuickBooks workbook. So, yeah. That is something we're going to need to get installed, is QuickBooks. And after that, I don't think much more. Maybe Office is another thing they use. So they can come pick this up tomorrow. For today, though, we are going to bring this to a close. Who doesn't find that annoying with computers? Does anybody use keyboard shortcuts like Alt F4 to close a window? Alt F4 after all windows are closed. You can shut down your computer, restart it, update and shut down, update and restart if updates are queued. You know, in the queue to be installed or downloaded then installed. I use those shortcuts a lot more than I use like hitting Alt and then the F7 key for airplane mode or volume up, volume down, mute, switching screens, lock the computer, no trackpad. Yeah, the media keys, not a thing for me, not something I've ever really been wanting to use. So, to get my shortcuts, I need Alt and FN on this particular computer. So the Alt, FN, F4 will let us shut it down for the day. 4:34, thanks for hanging out. Sorry it was such a failure with the Arch Linux install. We'll try and get redemption on this tomorrow. I need to read tonight on creating a UEFI install media. So on my to-do list, I'm gonna leave this and go to work. Maybe I'll see some of you out there tonight. Maybe I won't. Anyways, have a good day. Thank you for hanging out. And we attempted to get our hands dirty today. Not very successful with this open hours, but thanks for hanging out nonetheless. If you clicked the link to come here, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow, people. Have a good evening.